Hello everyone, welcome to my class. So we'll continue our discussion on symmetry and group theory. So in the last class, we have completed all the symmetry elements. Now we will move on to symmetry operations. Symmetry operations are the uh, change in orientation which we are introducing using symmetry elements. Simply you can say like that. Okay. Say for example, here you can see it's a tetrahedral molecule. So you are subjecting this molecule for a initially a rotation followed by inversion, right? So let me select the pointer. Yeah, see here this molecule. This molecule, what you are doing initially, you are rotating through 90-degree, then you are inverting. Right, you are reflecting the molecule along this plane so that these two are coming here. Okay, then uh, when you this is coming like this when you are rotating 90-degree. Okay, you are rotating this to 90-degree so that this becomes perpendicular like this, and these two are coming here. Okay, when you are reflecting this along this plane, the gray plane, what's happening? It will be having an inversion of configuration. So the molecule is said to have SN axis, improper axis of rotation. In other words, we are performing symmetry operations on these molecules. Okay, right. So this S1, S2, all these things we have completed in the last class. So I am not going in again to this. Same way for a trigonal pyramidal molecule such as ammonia. If you take ammonia, this is N, this is H, 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 H1, H2, and H3. So rotate through C3 axis, 120-degree rotation. So 1 will come here, 2 will come here, and 3 will come to the position of 2. So you can see here, right? The rotation on 120-degree, it is happening like this. Again 120 if you are doing, and again 120, you are coming back to your original molecule. Okay, which is nothing but identity element, which you have seen earlier. Okay, so you should familiarize how to perform the different symmetry operations on a molecule. Okay, so just like mathematical operations or mathematical operator, these symmetry operators are also very important. Okay, so here you are taking a linear molecule, which is a this is a heteroatomic molecule. This is a homoatomic molecule. So since this is heteroatomic molecule, say for example, consider this as H and Cl. So let it be HCl. So there are numerous vertical planes, right? Numerous vertical planes. Infinitely number of vertical planes are there. Okay, and that's why the principal axis here it is C infinity, because every time, like infinitely many times, you can rotate it so that you will get the original molecule itself. Okay, so here also it is having C infinity, but here this is a vertical plane, this is a horizontal plane. Why so? That I have explained. Vertical plane is the one which is exactly the plane which is containing the principal axis, and the horizontal plane is the plane which is perpendicular to the principal axis. So here this is the principal axis, this is a vertical plane, because all the planes are containing the principal axis. This is the principal axis, and horizontal plane is the one which is perpendicular to the principal axis. In addition to this, the molecule, let it be a homodiatomic molecule such as Cl2 or Br2, Cl2 examples. Okay, here this is HCl I have mentioned. So Here this vertical plane which is cutting the principal axis, and the molecule is having inversion center, because if you move equally in opposite direction you are meeting similar atoms, so the molecule is having inversion center, right? Yes. So like this symmetry operations you can perform on any molecule. Got it. Now let us see, why do chemists care about symmetry? Why do we need symmetry? It is because the symmetry allows the prediction of chirality in a molecule, which we have seen in the stereochemistry unit. And the second important application is in predicting the behavior of the molecule to IR and Raman spectroscopy. This is very, very important. And this application you are going to study in your sixth semester as well as in your PG classes. And it's also important for the bonding prediction, how the molecule can form different kinds of bonds. Okay, right. Now I have like some examples here. Do you see any symmetry here? Yes, of course, you are observing symmetry, right? What kind of symmetry you are observing? I have like different kinds of materials here. This is a molecule, which is a bent molecule. Okay, and this is a usual pin, which is used in the notice boards. This is paper clip. This is stapler pin, and this one is a your gem clip, right? So all the molecules are having symmetry, right? So this is a, like you can cut this molecule along these things, right? Then you will get two equal halves along this thing. You can cut it. This molecule is also along this thing. You can cut it. This could be analogous to the heterodiatomic molecule which we have seen here. See, analogous to this, right? Yeah, like that. You can see like number of symmetry, a kind of molecular symmetry in all these examples. So here also you can cut this like this, right? And it is having a horizontal plane, because the principal axis is into the plane of the screen. Okay, into the plane of the screen, three-dimensionally. Okay, and the horizontal plane is there. And here also you can see some kind of symmetry to the paper clip. Okay, right. Now let us see the how we can group the each molecule depending upon its symmetry elements. So the objects that share the same set of symmetry elements belong to the same point group. We are coming to a new term called point group. Okay, point group. And this could be an example for a point group. Like this, let it be water molecule H, 2H, 1H, 2H, and oxygen. And there are, of course, there are lone pair of electrons, which I have not shown here. Okay, there is a lone pair, there is a lone pair. Okay, which is exactly perpendicular to the orientation of these two hydrogens. Okay, so the different symmetry elements for the water molecule are identity element, C2 axis, which is the principal axis, and there are two sigma vertical planes. Okay, one vertical plane is the one which is containing these two hydrogen, another is exactly perpendicular to these two hydrogens. Okay, like that, two vertical planes are there, sigma v. So these four elements, symmetry elements, constitute a point group C2V, C2V, and the order of the group can be said as 4 because it is having 4 symmetry elements, 1 E, 1 C2, and 2 sigma V. Okay, so 4 symmetry elements. So the order of C2V point group is 4. You will get questions. Define order of a group. 1 mark. What do you mean by order? The total number of symmetry elements present in a point group is called order of the group. Example, for C2V point group, order is equal to 4. Okay, right. Now, these are another examples for C2V. These are all C2V molecules only. Okay, yes. Now, if you perform different symmetry operations, you can get the using all the symmetry elements, you will get one or the other symmetry element. In the sense, if you multiply or if you perform one symmetry operation followed by another one, you will end up in another symmetry element which is belonging to the same group. Got it? Is it confusing? That means, see, let me explain. In C2V point group, you have four different symmetry elements: E, C2, sigma V1, sigma V dash, or sigma V prime. Same way, E, C2, sigma V prime. Write it in the form of a checkerboard. Okay, you are writing it in the form of a checkerboard. Okay, now, identity is doing nothing operation, right? So if you do identity so if you multiply identity with identity, you will end up in identity only. Identity element to the group only. Okay. So if you do identity operation followed by a C2 rotation, that means identity means doing nothing, right? So obviously C2 will stay as such. C2 only. Okay. It will stay as such. If you perform initially identity, then sigma V, obviously you will end up in sigma V only because identity is doing nothing, right? And if you perform identity followed by sigma V prime, definitely you will end up in sigma V prime. Okay, yes. Now let us come to the C2. Okay, C2 symmetry element. So if you perform C2 in the sense, just rotate 180 degree, water molecule, rotate 180 degree. So H1 will become H2, H2 will become H1. Okay. And then if you do identity, what will give? You will get only C2 because identity is doing nothing, right? Identity is doing nothing. Then if you perform first one C2, again C2, that means when you are doing initially C2, H1 will become H2, and again C2 means again what you are getting, H2 will again become H1. Got it? That means you are getting back your original molecule. Original molecule is nothing but identity, so you are getting identity element. Okay, now C2 followed by sigma V. This is quite tricky. Okay, I'll go back here. So initially do C2, this is coming here and this is coming here, and then do sigma V. Okay, rotate it, reflect it along a vertical plane. Okay, so if you are rotating it a vertical plane, what you are getting? You are getting and it is equivalent to another vertical plane reflection, that is sigma V prime. That is sigma V prime. Same way, C2 followed by sigma V prime becomes sigma V. Okay, like that. Sigma V with identity gives sigma V only. Sigma V with C2, sigma V prime. Just like this only. Sigma V prime. Sigma V followed by sigma V, identity, because same operation twice. And sigma V followed by sigma V prime gives C2. Finally, sigma V prime with all these operations, you are getting like this. And when you are getting a checkerboard of this kind or a multiplication table of this kind, uh, checkerboard of this kind is called as group multiplication table. Group multiplication table. Okay, and the construction of this table is based on 4 different laws, which is coming in group theory. Okay, one more important feature, let me tell you regarding this table. It is very easy to write, even though in the first look it gives you some kind of complication. If you observe carefully, you will see how to fill this. Okay, you are writing E C2 sigma V prime, right? E C2 sigma V prime. The same thing repeats along this row as well as along this column. See, E is equal to sigma v prime, E is equal to sigma v prime, E is equal to sigma v prime, because in both these things, the operation involved is identity. See, identity. And along the diagonal, what's happening? The same operation comes here. C2 becomes E. Sigma v becomes E. And sigma v prime becomes E. So only remaining thing is you have to fill these three elements, right? These three elements. These three here and these three here. 6 elements. And you will get sigma v into C2, that is sigma v prime. Okay, this is like this I will explain in the next video. Okay, how it is we are getting there. Okay, so just practice all these things and let me know if you have any doubts. Thank you for your attention.